This is Mark Schofield with Inside the Pylon and the Bleacher Report NFL 1000 project. Julio Jones continues to shine for Atlanta, and he had another strong week against the San Diego Chargers, catching 9 passes for 174 yards. In only 2 games this year was the talented wideout held under 30 yards, and in one of those, against the Saints, he was dealing with a lower leg injury. What can defenses do to slow him down, or is Jones simply uncoverable right now? Denver was able to limit Jones a few weeks ago to 2 catches for 29 yards, and some of what the Broncos did can be used to keep him in check. But as the tape shows, even when you have tremendous coverage on Jones, you cannot be sure that the defense will finish the job. This first play we're going to look at is from this week against the San Diego Chargers. Jones is split to the left at the top of the screen, and as you can see, he's going to run sort of this quick bang 8, quick post route. San Diego is going to play off coverage here. What they're going to do is they're going to use cover 3, and you see the cornerback is in off coverage, cornerback to the other side as well is in off coverage, and the safety's in the deep sort of middle of the field right over the football, sort of your basic cover 3. One of the problems when you try to play cover 3 and off coverage against Jones is he's quick enough that when he runs his routes, he can establish inside leverage as he does here. And even if the cornerback tries to click and close and make a good break on the ball, he's got a big enough body frame where he can just shield the defender from the football. So as we run through this again, see the post route, defender tries to break on this, can't get there in time. So that's one way you can try to cover him. Play off coverage. Don't jam him with the line of scrimmage and try to click and close, but as we see, it's not effective here. Here's a play from later. We're going to see San Diego do, again, we're going to get that post route from Jones. San Diego is going to jam him at the line of scrimmage with the cornerback, and then they're going to use safety help to try to take him away deep. You get the play side safety, and this safety is going to get involved as well. The problem when you try to jam Jones is that he's extremely strong, particularly in the upper body, and he's very effective against the jam. So if you want to jam him, if you try to jam him, you've got to be sure to get a really good, solid jam on him. Otherwise, he can fight through it very easily, and then you're basically giving him a free run at the safeties deep, and that's exactly what happens here. We'll see the attempted jam right there. You're going to see the jam come here, and he'll just come right through it. And now he just erases the cushion on the deep post, runs by both safeties. So now you've seen a team try to jam him. They don't get an effective jam on him, and he's able to just accelerate downfield and basically erase the big cushion that the safeties give him pre-snap on the deep post route. I mentioned at the outset that Denver was able to slow him down. They held Jones to just 2 receptions for 29 yards. Now, part of this was also a scheme element to what Kyle Shanahan did against this Denver defense. Denver has some talented cornerbacks in Aqib Talib and Chris Harris Jr. So what the Atlanta Falcons did on offense was they got, as you'll see here, they went empty. They got running backs kind of matched up in space against those linebackers, and they were able to be effective in the passing game using that sort of component. So part of Jones's limitation statistically in that game against Denver was through offensive design. But Denver still had a game plan for Jones as well. What we're going to see here, Jones is going to run a vertical route and then break it off on a comeback. It's hard to tell if he's just adjusting this route on the fly or for a comeback, as what was called in the huddle. But for the sake of purposes, he runs a comeback route here, but it has a vertical element to it. We're going to see the jam here, but we're also going to get safety help over the top. Now you'll see when the jam is effective and that safety help can then rotate over, it takes away any chance Ryan has of looking his way. So as we run through this, there's the jam right there. It reroutes Jones now to the outside. You can even see here, Ryan's looking in this direction. He wants to see if he can get the ball to Jones in this area, either on the comeback route or whether it's going to be a vertical route. Again, I can't be positive what the route actually is called in the huddle. But now Ryan's looking in this direction. He sees the safety help. We've got the jam here, which has rerouted Jones. So Ryan has to come back to the other side of the field. Now, the flag was thrown there for defensive offside, so Ryan had a free play. Even seeing that, he's not comfortable with the coverage that's shown. Again, just take one last look at it. We get the jam with the safety help here over the top. That's going to be a tough throw for Ryan to make, even though it's a free play, so he goes to the other side of the field. Here, Atlanta tries to protect Jones on this route. He's going to run a slant route, and they use a little stack slot design. I mentioned that Denver had some good cornerbacks. Here is Jones matched up against Aqib Talib. Jones is going to run this slant route. One of the ways to slow Jones down, hope that you have a cornerback that can play a route as well as Talib does here. You see the slant. Talib breaks right under it and makes a play on the ball. So Denver's roadmap to success against Julio Jones, good jam with safety help over the top, and hope you've got a defensive back like Aqib Talib who can stay on Jones in coverage. The problem with staying on Jones in coverage is this. I mentioned that Jones is a strong athlete. He's strong in the upper body. He's very good at the catch point. So even when you have him draped in coverage, even when you have defenders all around him, he can still win the football at the catch point because of his hand strength and because of his catch radius. San Diego had two scenarios against Julio Jones this week where they had him in pretty good coverage, but Jones still came down with a catch. Here's this first example. We're going to get a nice little route concept from Atlanta here. Jones is going to run this dig route, and Sanu is going to come on a wheel route coming to the outside. Sanu is actually wide open here. It's a good route design, but Ryan goes to Jones anyway. The coverage is going to be good. Look, Ryan's about to release the ball, and there's Jones. You've got one defender on him, safety here, and two defenders underneath. Ryan's still going to make this throw, and somehow Jones comes down with it. Strength and hand strength at the catch point. Here's another angle. We don't see Jones until late. Look at the coverage there. But look at the catch. Hand strength at the catch point. So even when you have him covered, Jones can still make the play. Here's one last play showing this concept, this idea of strength at the catch point. This comes from very late in the game. There's about 18 seconds left. Jones is going to run in again a deep dig route against sort of a green 2 prevent defense. This is sort of just a prevent style Tampa 2 where you have the safeties and then you've got this defender in the middle of the field. We get the dig route that's going to come in here. Again, we're going to see that concept of strength at the catch point. So even though they're right here, the ball is out. Underneath defenders here, we've got safety help over the top. There's Jones in the middle right here. He's got basically 5 defenders around him. And he still comes down with it. Ball comes out. Again, look at the defenders around him. 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders. There's Jones right there. Still comes down with it. That's the difficulty of trying to slow a player like Julio Jones down. You can try different schematic things. You can jam him with the line of scrimmage. You can use safety help over the top. You can try to play off coverage. But whatever you do, even when you have him covered, his ability at the catch point, his ability with his hands, makes it difficult to even take him away, even prevent a completion when you've got the right kind of coverage on him. It'll be interesting to see how teams try to deal with Julio Jones going forward, and that's something we'll be certainly looking at with the Bleacher Report NFL 1000 project.